Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you like people like y'all who know just what to do. So let's make use of this beautiful day. And we all can say, would you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? All right, boys and girls. You tell I was watching Saturday Night Live rerun. Real talk, though, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And it's great to be here with y'all. We just out here doing nothing that's really staged and nothing like that. It's a work day on the farm because spring is springing. So we got the ideas, let's share with the family some of what we're doing because I know you might be wanting to do the same thing. Come over here. I'm here with my sister Nikita, who's gonna keep me on point. There's so much to share. We thought of a few things that we want to share with you that are very practical skills, or practical, as we say, hacks. Something that you can do that you don't have to go outside of your house to get anything to do it, or outside of your yard, right? Ah, just looking at what nature provides. For instance, we started here with this wood. You see a big old pile over there. You know, branches fall throughout the year, especially in the winter time. We've had all these storms coming through Atlanta or wherever you are. You probably had them too. So, what is that? It's just another headache. This is a nuisance. It may be that as well. Two things can be true. What it is for us is an opportunity to light a fire. Yes, boys and girls. Can you say pyromania? Well, for real though, I'm not a well, I won't say that. That's not the point though. It's not just to light a fire for aesthetics. The fire, of course, will help to keep the mosquitoes away when they come around. And this you can do in your yard, on your deck. You know, what's not gonna set off the alarm in your complex or whatever. You can do this. The fire to keep us warm, of course, naturally. We already know that. Fire keeps us warm. But also, this right here, and I'm not gonna put my hand in it because I'm no fool. It's hot down. This is also a source of energy, a source of nutrition for the plants. This fire. That's what it's creating. The ash. Look up potash. Potash. You can keep moving if you need to. See my sister back there getting baptized by the fire. We don't want that. I mean, we all getting baptized by the fire, but we don't want to, we don't want to get doused in the heat. So this is what we're doing. So I'm starting with this because everyone has this. And you might think, it's not too hot. It's off of the cuddly season, and the maybe we have a few more days or maybe a month of that in terms of cool nights where we can burn a fire. No, we're talking about something different. We're talking about fire to create energy in the form of potassium, which helps to form strong roots in our plants, right? So that's just something you can look at. What I would like to say to you is make sure of a couple of things. Here's a song. Make sure of a couple of things. Make sure you're not using wood that's a bunch of chemicals in it. The chemicals could burn down, however, it could be something that's, you know, a little bit testy. Let's walk over here. Let me show you the kind of wood we use. That's the hoop house. We're gonna get to that in a minute. This is the kind of wood I would say. We have this all over the place. That's by virtue of all the fallen trees and all this. You know, this was the kind of wood that I would say use. But we in full spring clean and mold. I got my brother Charles over there. I don't know if he's supposed to be somewhere else right now, so I ain't gonna. Well, we already put him out there.
No, sorry.
Hope I ain't blow your cover, G. No, well, I was making mention of you, and then I was like, I don't know if I'm just a joke. As you can see, we're in a happy mood. So he say he expect nothing less from us. So let's go over here and talk to him. Because you need to know, this is the hacks. We're talking about, we talk all the time about we all we got. And a lot of times that sounds like a lamentation. We all we got. We actually all we need too. All right, let's go. Let me show you this right here. He's not personally gonna put himself on camera, so that's my job. Eco paradigm. You see that? It might as well be an S on the chest. It's a group of matter of fact, speak for yourself, brother. Tell us about Eco Paradigm.
Okay, Eco Paradigm is a social enterprise. Provide a variety of services ranging from consultation. We do training and education. We also do farm infrastructure and labor support. So in terms of the types of infrastructure that we put up, various types of fencing, like this electric 3D gear fencing that we're working on right now. Also high tunnels, greenhouses, caterpillar tunnels, irrigation, any number of things, and really just trying to serve our community.
Doing it.
Starting around the Metro Atlanta area and going throughout the state and hopefully throughout the region. Um, soon coming. You know what I mean? But however we can help our people, we try to do the best that we can. You know what I mean? We can't always meet all of the demand, so we're trying to definitely get some resources to build our capacity. But we give thanks for Ross Kofi and On the Farm for showing us love from day one. You know what I mean? And being one of the biggest supporters of Eco Paradigm in terms of the work and create opportunities for us to do what we do. And
Y'all showing our people love, man. What I want to highlight is the impact that y'all have had in terms of workforce development. That's one of them tag words you even here in Capitol Hill, but it's made so abstract as it relates to when it really hits the ground.
Sure.
Y'all got boots on the ground, training young people, especially with a skill that is they're gonna take them through life.
True.
What inspired you to even get into that?
I gotta give credit to my big brother Bingy Sean. Sean Habashah. He helping Africa by establishing schools at home and abroad. You know what I mean? That's when I first cut my teeth in terms of agriculture, learning, through the Habashah Works training program, which is an agribusiness training program. From there, had a chance to actually work with Habashah to facilitate the program, as well as another workforce development program called Urban Green Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And then also work with Sister Abby and the Gangsters to Growers program. And what I realized from those programs is that oftentimes people need a next step to matriculate through, post graduation, and definitely those organizations definitely promote and have internal opportunities to promote from within, and also we need more opportunities. We need as many opportunities as we can have for our people, especially our young people, to be able to get involved in this work. Everybody don't own land, you know what I mean? But everybody can learn a skill and find a way to contribute to the collective. So we're just trying to create them pathways.
Last question before I get back and let you keep continue with your work. What you got? What somebody got to do to get down with Eco Paradigm? Like they get jumped in like again. So it's an initiation process, or what was it?
Get jumped in, but
Not necessarily.
I mean, once you win, you gotta get jumped. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna just let jump you in. But no, everybody who's worked with Eco Paradigm on behalf of Eco Paradigm, shout out to you. You know what I mean? We have people come and go. People like plant seasons for whatever reason.
True.
But definitely we want to provide as much opportunity as we can because we see the need. Skilled labor in agriculture is a big need. You know what I mean? And it's a challenge on certain levels to find ways to bridge the gaps. You know what I mean? It's a small social enterprise. But definitely as we continue to get resources to build our capacity, I want to put on as many people as we can. You know what I mean?
And that's what's so remarkable to me, and that's why I'm asking you this. I mean, everybody know what those who don't know, this is my brother. However, it's not just because it's my brother, it's because of his work speak for itself, What's remarkable to me is even though you said all that, y'all have put a very major dent in the agricultural world in Atlanta. Like y'all influence in your work, your tangible work, help so many farmers. So what's that mean? That means it's helping a lot of y'all get food in your plate with a small social enterprise. So I just wanted to highlight Eco Paradigm because we're talking right now about spring cleaning and just some spring hacks. So one of the hacks, life hacks, is Simba Simbi. That's what Dr.
Mhm.
Fukia taught us.
Mhm.
Hold up that which holds you up. Congolese proverb. Simba Simbi. You go.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We'll
sir.
continue. Come on over here, y'all. So we're just showing you this is where we get the wood from. I would say do the same. You got all kind of twigs and everything in your yard. They will break down. If you just left this alone, don't do this something like that too much from now because it could be Jacob in there. I don't mean the police, but where they get that term from, right? So what I'm saying is, if you leave this alone, it will end up breaking down into soil. Everything turns in, and I'll show you an example of that. So if you have space, if you don't, you don't have a lot of room, you don't really want to burn a bunch of stuff. You have space in your yard where you can pile up your twigs and just let them have their own area. As you can see, this is a residential area, comparing it. So we're not out here on 40 acres and we ain't got a mule, we the mule. So I'm saying that to say we can do this right here in the city, even on smaller land. So even if you don't want to necessarily grow a whole huge garden or you've got enough wood ash, that's another way to build up soil. So for your garden for the future. So in a few seasons, it could be as soon as next winter. When you look at this same pile that's here right now, it'll be broken significantly down. And at the bottom, you will see gold. I don't see any over here. It's a fresh fire, but let's go over here. Let me show you what it looks like. Because it was this. And by doing all of this, I'm feeding two birds with one seed. Because like I said, matter of fact, I want to give it away to somebody in the comments. Whoever want to make a comment first to see what else. What are two of the uses of this fire that we talked about today? Two of the uses. You gotta cultivate hoodie for you. It's always hoodie season, especially with this climate changing. But we gotta cultivate hoodie for you for the first person in the comment. Let me show you something. We have a limited time in this conversation today. We got freshly expanded deer fence, the eco paradigm put in. Much respect. But right here, broken down wood chips from stuff like this. Some of it was decomposed from branches, some of it was broken down further into wood chips and allowed to decompose. So what I'm saying to you fundamentally is we can create our own soil. We can create our own soil. We can do it. Next thing, composting. Composting might sound like a big old ugly word. Let's make it very practical. There's different forms of compost. We just talked about one right there. How are we on time, sister?
No, 148. Good.
Just talked about one form of compost, which is more of a slow compost. This form right here would be a little faster. All those weeds that I pulled out, which are really just plants out of place. All kind of plants right here. Shout out to the man Baba Soul. Shout out to our brother Chris Lemons over there, Gratitude Botanical. He also teaches about this. All of these, most of these are wild foods actually. So we don't call them weeds, we just call plants out of place. And they were ground cover for us in the winter. They actually gave us some, they gave the bed a little bit more nurturing, a little bit more shielding from the cold wind so that the ground can stay moist like it needs to be, right? So now spring has come. What was beneficial could end up being something that smothers it. Like they say sometimes, mothering can be smothering, fathering can be bothering. So it's not a sexist thing. It just is what it is. What does that mean? Sometimes the same thing that is there to protect you and to care for you and shield you at a certain stage of your development, if that doesn't get out of the way and give you the opportunity to unfold and allow your nature to unfold, the same thing could be competition. So this right here, now that the spring is emerging and the nitrogen cycle and all that is getting stronger, so the plants are starting to grow expeditiously. This same thing, which gave us ground cover, which helped for the soil to stay moist. If I'm gonna show y'all over there in a minute what I'm talking about under these native plants, all kind of earthworms, right? Which are fertility, a sign of fertility in soil. This same thing could be competition for the plants if they're not pulled out of the way in proper time. So this is the time to pull it out of the way. But guess what? You think I'm gonna throw this away and put it in the garbage can or put it outside? Because if I put it in a plastic bag or a paper bag, that's where they're taking it to the dump, where they're giving free compost to the counties, the different municipalities. That's where they get that from. All the lawn refuse. That's where they make the compost. So guess what? You can do it yourself. Let me show you how. Let me show you at least a few of the steps. Boom, boom. Just gonna get as many as I can, as much as I can. Do this wheelbarrow load. And where we're taking it is to a setup over there that we have, which includes some pallets just like this. We're gonna come back to these pallets to show you what's happening, to give you another hack real quick. But let's take this over here because we can create our own compost bin. Let's go. All right, big going hot. You going hot? Hold on 1 second. Ostancia, I gotta come out of there. Baba Zumba. 1 second. Do you have any questions? I don't know. I'm doing well. He's doing a little training video real quick. So, no, you're not at all. You can see, I was coming over there to ask about like a plug in thing you haven't seen yet. Oh, yeah, that's good. To be away from that. No, I don't. No, it's still right on your day. Toward the back door there. Okay, and you'll see it behind. There's a white plastic chair. You'll see it behind, right behind. Okay. It's only because I didn't ask his permission to put him on camera, but I'm gonna see one day if we can get our Baba to do an interview with us. You know, I didn't want to put him on the spot. He's a living library. Come on, man. So the whole point of this again is that there's no waste in a really mindful garden stewarded by mindful people. There's very little waste, right? So this is not just going in a trash bag because that's what the county's gonna do anyway. They're gonna put it to compost. We'll put it over here in a slow compost. So if you have space in your yard to do the same thing, as you can see, we're just using pallets, basic carpentry. You know, we're just using pallets and we're setting 3 of them up so that the fresh stuff can go in the first pile. And then as it keeps on getting turned, it'll keep on breaking down. Eventually the last station over there will have finished compost. You can walk through in the middle of those. Yes, sir. I got some things. Okay. I don't do that today, I think my again, this is something you don't do without being mindful after it gets a little warmer. Your whole family under it. I think the fence is hot, so y'all see me being mindful because I'm not really into being shot just for the sake of it. So this 3-bin system is a compost system that hasn't been turned in many months. So under here is all kind of good stuff. Just for the sake of time, I'm just showing you that you can put it into. Let's go over here so I can show you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pallets. It's a beautiful number. 7 pallets. For some simple carpentry, a simple DIY project that will help you to have 3 bins. I have to replace that pallet too. Look at this. Right? This is just from just being here. Like I said, slow motion, slow cook. Slow cook. Hasn't been turned. I know I haven't turned it, and no one I know has turned it. Be careful. Behind you.
Oh,
It's hot. The fence is hot.
okay.
It's hot, right?
No, it's not.
Okay. So no one I know has turned it for at least about 8 months. It just breaks down naturally. 7 pallets to create 3 bins with the fresh pile, the intermediate pile, and the finished pile. That's what you end up getting. Be careful because you. So we almost. Ready, Tucker? No, I. Baba Jumbe. You can give it back to him because he said he found it in the driveway. Oh, okay. Do you have any questions? Is there any questions? Testing deer fence. Drum roll. Come on, Filthy. So another hack. We talked about these pallets, how they can be used for many different things. Now imagine if, like many of my sisters and brothers, you don't have a lot of yard space in the backyard which gets sun, but you have a long driveway, or you got space in the front yard or somewhere on the deck that you get a lot of sun, right? That you like to grow lettuce, you like to grow onions even, you like to grow garlic, you like greens, broccoli, kale, cabbage, this type of stuff. This is for you. You notice I didn't say certain things because some stuff might need a little deeper root system. This right here can be filled up with soil, and this can become compartments of a raised garden bed. You have a family of 4. You know how much of this can significantly is the word I use, and I'm not exaggerating. You know how much of this can significantly break down or reduce your monthly grocery bill? You can grow microgreens or small greens, which are more nutritious than the big old greens. You can grow garlic. You can grow onions. You can grow something like turmeric, even once you got enough soil in it. You could even grow potatoes in this, and you just have to keep mounding it up as it grows. You can keep putting soil on it, right? but just in terms of this depth, it might be like you just got a driveway and that's all you got. You can use materials like this for your benefit. Now, in full transparency, you out? Good. Go ahead and you grab a couple. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. A bunch of them are ordered, so you just take what you need. Okay. All right. So my point is, when we came out here today, I didn't even plan on sharing this with y'all. I just saw this as we're doing cleaning, as we're getting everything together, stuff piles up over winter and all that. So that's what spring cleaning is all about. Whether it's in your home, whether it's in your heart, is in your mind, in your ori, or in your garden, right? It's all the same reality. It all requires the same intentionality. So we came out here and seen it was like, look at this. But we're looking to expand the space. As you can see, we're not using all this every square inch, you know? We're not using every square inch. Every square inch is usable for one thing or another. Sometimes pulling up a trellis or a fence or something that stuff can grow up on and stuff can run up on. It could be many different things. So again, just to review, as we close for today, and I'm inviting y'all to come to our Garden 101 class. It's every month. We have 2 this month because March is such an important time, some of the busiest time in the world for gardeners, right? So our Garden 101 class will be happening on Saturday, this Saturday, March 22nd from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Oyum Botanical Gardens. The link is in the bio if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram. You can also type it in when we've concluded this video. It's onthefarm.eventbrite.com, ondafarm.eventbrite.com. That's just a little bit of what we can do to make use of the resources that are so abundantly here, like this. Did you ever know before today that all these weeds you got to pull out of the ground cover can actually turn into soil again, which ends up being one of the most expensive investments you will make for your garden every year. It's proper soil. It's the most fundamental, it's the most important ingredient in gardening. Soil, right? Just like the soul, it makes sense, right? So this is what we're talking about. There are a million of ways. We just shared a couple of them with you. Repurposing. That's a big word. A lot of times you hear that word being used with gentrifiers, so now people run away from repurposing. Repurposing is not, it's not the copyright of gentrifiers, right? Usually what happens is people use ingenuity, which comes from the grassroots people. That's how the corporate 500, whatever the word is, 500 and beyond companies, that's what they're all about. They siphon the ingenuity which comes from the masses of people. That's why we know that the power is in the people. In the 60s, our elders used to say power to the people. And we want to big up Imam Jamil, who he advanced the discourse. He said the power is in the people. And that to me feels empowering, not to be redundant. The power is in us. So let's go over here real quick before we close. I want to show y'all something. Put this chapter back down. But this is not the time to really plant, to really water. Not the ideal time if the sun is right over, but it's a cooler kind of day. So I'm just making sure that these plants remain well watered. But what I want to show y'all, when I'm saying the plants, I'm talking about the plants, the seedlings that are in the trays. There's some little stuff we got. I want to show y'all one thing before we close off, getting ready for our first plant sale of the year. Check this out. Look close. Do you see what I see? The broccoli growing in the hoop. It will throw your hunger for a loop. It will throw your hunger for a loop. This has been growing through the winter. This is one of the benefits of the hoop house. This is one of the benefits of what we're talking about in terms of temperature modification. Things that need a little bit extra warmth in the bitter cold, you put them under a structure and you don't have to go and order it on any, I don't even call their names. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can build it with bamboo. You can come over here and look what we did. You can use other materials like wires, but I want to focus today on what you can do with material that you can find right here in the city. There's all kind of patches of bamboo. When I start seeing the bamboo dwindling, which I won't, but when I start seeing that dwindling, then I'll start talking about other stuff you can do because we can make it happen regardless, right? But it's just one example of a material we can use to create some structures which will help to modify the temperature to our benefit. In the summer, as we said already, we have the shade cloth. What's up, King? Hey, what's going on? What's good? In the summer, we have the shade cloth, which will take off 20 degrees. It'll take off 20 degrees. And that makes a significant difference with stuff that can't take a lot of heat. We take off 20 degrees and we can make it happen, in terms of continuing to grow food. In the winter, you keep it just like this. And as you saw the broccoli. Coming to a head. Coming to a market stand near you. Right? So before we close out, I just want to show y'all one more thing. Again, these are just some springtime hats that we can implement today. And the goal is to focus on hats that we can implement without even having to leave our yard or even leave our neighborhood. Your yard may not have it, but your neighbor's yard may have abundant leaves they ain't doing nothing with. Here's what we can do. Use them. Let's see, one more thing. Still hot?
About to go hot.
You got time. Phone out. Phone out.
Go ahead, bro. So y'all give a shout out to Sister Nikita. Those of y'all who are gonna watch this replay for being our camera person, following us around, helping us get this word out. Thank you so much.
Grab all of them.
On this upcoming Saturday, on the 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we'll have our first plant sale over at Oyo Botanical Garden. Just to show you what we have. Red cabbage, purple cabbage. So by the time Malcolm X Fest come around and all that, you'll have big old cabbage for your family, for your salad, for your coleslaw that day, and for your Memorial Day and all that kind of stuff. We could possibly have it before. Now is what? This is mid-March or mid-April, mid-May. Yeah. Okay. Broccoli. I can hold one of them. That's off.
It's dead.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Broccoli. This is collard greens. These are the collards that go through the summer. So Georgia collards, you have different types of collards. You have cauliflower. Where is the cauliflower? Collards. That thing's a collard. Okay, cauliflower over here. Looks similar to the collard greens. Lettuce, romaine lettuce. Put this in your yard and just watch it take off. You can put it in your balcony. You can put it in your windowsill. More broccoli. And of course, kale. Everyone loves kale. And that juicy, juicy, juicy Brussels sprout. So that's what we got. Just wanted to share that with you. And that's at Oyum Botanical Gardens, 3353 Washington Road, East Point, Georgia. So I'm gonna give it back to my sister so I can look y'all in the eye real quick. Thank you for joining us. Just an impromptu vibe as we're here doing what we do anyway. We're just giving y'all a little ride along. Let you ride shotgun for a moment. You can join us though at the farm. Volunteer hours are from 12 to 4 p.m. on Wednesdays and Saturdays at OU Botanical, 3353. That's 3353 Washington Road or Washington River, like the W. West Side, Washington River. Hello. That's what we call it. A river of abundance flowing through, right? And that's you can look on our link in the bio or on thefarm.eventbrite.com, on thefarm.com for all of that. Sign up for our newsletter so we can stay in touch with you and talk to you about things that are happening in our community that are very relevant, that are very necessary. And most of all, because they're relevant and necessary, they must be empowering. Life is a farm. Peace.